What's going on, guys? So let's just get this started for this week, okay? Because we already know. First, mic check. Do y'all hear me good? Just put a 1 if you hear me. If you can hear me clear. And I know, and IG is probably not, because I my bad for IG. But if you want to see it better, probably is better on YouTube. If you want to go there for the live, hopefully this is helpful for you guys. What's up, Abel? I got your message. I'm gonna get to you after this. All right, good. So we're gonna talk about this week. All right. So this is just gonna be a weekly prep, guys, so we could know what to look forward to. All right, because I know Friday, like even members in the group that yeah, appreciate you guys. Yeah, because even in the group, Friday was just fucking crazy when it came to Trump's comments, especially at the end of the day. The crazy part was we was anticipating comments on tariffs, right? But it's expected. We kind of knew when he was coming into presidency that he was really gonna drive the markets extremely crazy, right? So let's just talk about last week, right? We had NFP on Friday, and the NFP number actually came out lower than expected, but we did have strong unemployment numbers along with high wages, right? So from that along, we understand that higher wages is inflationary. This is one of the reasons why the Federal Reserve is keeping rates restrictive. So this is why I've been anticipating to still see a stronger dollar. It's more likely that the Feds is not going to cut rates, right, guys? So this is what gives us an idea. Higher rates, bad for the equity markets, but it's also good for the dollar. But after that, we did have comments from Donald Trump stating that he was supposedly, it was supposed to be 30 days, just literally 30 days, we were supposed to get tariff negotiations back into the markets. But now he just said on Friday he was going to bring back those tariff talks Monday and Tuesday. So the reactions that we saw in the markets after that was at the end of the session, we saw that the dollar did gain strength, and then we saw equities fall. Did any of you guys take advantage of those opportunities? Did you know how to take advantage of those opportunities when you see it happen? Because like, here's a good example. Could you guys see the chart? It's a really good example. One of the, what's up, Robbie? Yeah, one of the things that I was looking forward to, I wanted to take advantage. Equity sales was one of the best options at that time because tariffs, we already know that causes market fear, right? Especially if we're not going to know how other countries is going to retaliate when it comes to these tariff talks. So this is something that we got to pay attention to moving forward, right? So this is not the first time we saw this type of reaction. This is how you get better with understanding fundamentals, right? Because this is the third time, like the third time this happened when we got these tariff talks and we saw how the markets reacted to it. Okay, so I want you guys to, this is the whole purpose of journaling, so that when these things do pop up, it's not going to be a surprise. Okay. But also now we understand Monday is going to be where he's going to actually explain himself. We know that Tuesday he's going to explain himself. So what are the things you think you guys have to pay attention to in order to find a tradable opportunity? Right. So that's where a lot of the thinking is going to come in play. So one of the best things to understand when it comes to the markets is that we know when opportunities do come for itself. The hardest time is that Trump doesn't sleep. Like when does he sleep? A headline could come in at 6 in the morning, but then it could also come in during New York Open, right? Last time it was around 11. It could have came in around 3 p.m. So that's one of the tough times of trading during his elections. But I mean, during every time that he comes out with his comments is very tough because it's very, very random. All right. But also, I just want us to just be aware of that. When we see that those comments come out when it comes to tariffs, depending on the country, when he talks about putting tariffs on Canada again, if he says about Mexico, we saw the reactions about it. If it's over 25%, that is more about escalations. So that is the main focus. If he is escalating the tariff threats, that's where we see the major reactions of the markets of market fear. If we see if it's anything below 20%, it's not as scary as what the markets will anticipate. Literally anything above that 20-25%, that is considered escalations. That's where we're going to see that market fear reaction. And the market fear is going to be what we have today. We're going to see equities fall to the downside, and then we're going to see safe havens. My chart that I have here, we're going to see safe havens gain strength, like the dollar, the yen, and the Swiss is going to gain strength. So those are the opportunities you actually look forward to when it comes to those comments. But let me just move forward just to get through this. So moving forward for this week, right, we're going to focus on reactions of tariffs. So it's going to be on Monday. We don't know a time, but sometimes they do let us know if it's it. Hopefully he goes live about it. So if we get an actual time when he speaks on it, it would be better for us because at least we could prep. We could actually prep for it. But if you're not there, I would consider you guys download Truth Social. That's Trump's actual platform where he uses it like Twitter. So that's where you could get actual headlines from him, right? So when you get that headline, you better pay attention to the markets. All right. And also what we have this week is CPI. When it comes to gold, gold is the tricky part for what's going on because initially we know gold is a safe haven. We've been buying gold all last week, right, guys? So that's been the beauty of trading gold is everything literally that has been going on so far has been market uncertainty. We got geopolitical tensions still on the rise. We have everything when Trump came into office. It's just pure uncertainty with tariffs, right? Now he's dealing with this situation with Gaza. We're pretty sure that that's not going to go out the window. There is a little of light when it's coming to Russia and Ukraine, but still, it's not really a lot there. But understanding so far everything that is coming with gold, it is still allowing investors to buy gold as a safe haven. So I'm not a seller in gold yet. Okay. So as of now, especially when tariffs, if these situations do escalate, right? Every time we see any price action that is pushing, every time we get breaks the structure to the upside, it does lead to those higher highs, right? Being a seller has not been the best bet. BLTV, I appreciate you. That's what I recommend when it comes to gold. Like a lot of guys in the group, they just been buying gold. They've been doing amazing when it comes to it. But literally, selling gold at this current time in a moment has not been you so good. Yeah, like it's been very tough, you know. But one of the things that I want to feed you guys something as well, right? When it comes to market fear, this is why having a chart where you could follow commodities as a whole, right? Because if we get a catalyst of market, like total market fear, if you see copper, natural gas, oil, silver, everything is pushing bearish and your first instinct is like, oh, this is a risk off sentiment, I should be buying gold. But if you start seeing gold breaking support, it is more likely that that's going to be the reaction. Okay. Because that happened only once, right? And that was when we had a big miss in job data. And I think that happened last year. So that's why I'm saying that gold can be very, very tricky, you know, in these type of situations. The first instinct is just buy because of uncertainty. But there is certain times where gold do be giving us a sell-off, and that's because commodities as a whole is also falling. But as of now, I'm still a buyer on gold. I would rather buy gold. I think it's more safer to buy gold in these type of situations than to sell from a fundamental perspective. Okay. But it's not about technicals at the moment. We're just going to talk about what to focus on for the week. All right. So we're going to pay attention to we got US CPI coming up. And then later on, we got Jerome Powell is also going to speak. All right. His testimony. And then we got Governor Baliey testimony coming up as well. All right. So very important for this week, guys. You know, Monday, we got Lagarde's speech. We just had the rate decision when it came to the ECB. I want you guys to be prepared for this as well, too. If she comes, if Trump even like threatens tariffs on the ECB, like if he even like if he even just like a little tint of like, you know what, I'm probably gonna put tariffs on Europe, sell euro, because that is one of the reasons why euro has been falling last week as well. Other than the rate decision, but tariff fears also that is hitting the ECB is also a big concern. That could literally cripple the European economy, right? Especially with high interest rates and then tariff hits on top of that. The ECB can't handle that on top of everything else. And that's pretty why there's really the reason why Trump is taking advantage of the markets the way that he is so far too. So just pay attention to that just in case. All right. Yeah, I got try to read your comments. Stop gatekeeping. I'm not gatekeeping. You know, I focus a lot on the private group, you know, so I think this is good to do. I could share this with you guys too. This is free information, man. But yeah, I try to do this more. See if you guys like this. I'll do this more for you guys. Start doing some more lives. So important headlines over the weekend. So this is, I'm pretty sure all you guys saw this. Donald Trump, he's going to announce tariffs Tuesday or Wednesday. I thought it was Monday. So now it seems like Tuesday or Wednesday is going to be affected almost immediately. Tariffs, Trump announcing 25% tariffs on aluminum and steel on Monday, right? His talks with Putin, he believes that is making progress. Still need to put more into that, but I think paying attention between Russia and Ukraine, the Russia-Ukraine situation is extremely important. Is going to be something to focus on as well, because if we see progress that is coming between Russia and Ukraine, we know that should be a positive for euro. Okay, especially the oil markets and the euro economy, that should be a positive for that as well, temporarily. But that's something that we focus on as well. All right, guys. But other than that, that's really it when it came to important headlines over the weekend. Economic data. So the ones that I want you guys to really focus on. So we know that Monday through Wednesday, we're just going to focus on, just in case, we're going to focus on Trump's comments, right? Because he's very random. But Wednesday, this is where the CPI data comes across, okay? Because we already having strong labor data. So now inflation, the odds are markets are expecting wages to actually increase. So if we actually get that, those talks about potential rate hikes, I cannot see the markets totally excluding that. As of now, I don't think it's going to be a topic, but keeping rates higher for longer is going to be extremely, extremely important to pay attention to, especially having higher inflation, because it's kind of like saying that the Fed's effed up, right? They already effed up when it came to the labor markets. They was expecting unemployment to be at 4.5%. Last week, we already dropped to 4%. So the labor markets is extremely strong. So it's already a sense that the Feds are extremely messing up with their bias when it comes to the overall economy, right? So we're seeing there's a chance that if we get higher inflation, so you guys understand if CPI increases, what do you think is going to happen with the dollar? Are we going to get strength, or are we going to see weakness in the dollar? So this is going to help you create a bias, right? Because we know that CPI is coming up, and we know that this is the main focus for the entire market. CPI is the focus for the Feds to make decisions when it comes to interest rates. So if CPI actually increases on Wednesday, do you think the dollar is going to increase in strength, or are you going to think the dollar is going to get weaker? It's a question for you guys. I know y'all probably wasn't thinking he was going to get tested. Forget the Super Bowl. Yeah, after this, I'm gonna try to make this quick because I know most of you guys want to watch it. Increase in strength. Yes, increase in strength. Exactly. Increase in strength. So, what do you expect to happen with equities if we have an increase in CPI? Do you think equity markets like NASDAQ and US 30, you think they're going to increase in strength or you think it's going to get weaker? Yeah, downside. Exactly. So, there you go, Gico. That's your bias. Yeah, good job, guys. So that's your bias. So you know that this is going to be the main focus this week, especially after we got that labor data coming up. And this is only the second month of this only the yeah, it's only the second month of the year, right? So we still got a lot to go. The next rate decision is in March. So this is going to be extremely important to pay attention to because these prints is going to dictate what's going to happen at the next rate decision. All right. So also what is going on with Trump's policy because fiscal policy is causing an impact for the central banks. Because if you look at the dollar, like the reason why because before all of this, the reason why we've been seeing the strength in the dollar, it all happened when Trump got elected, right? Because they was already anticipating that Trump's election, right, his fiscal policy was already going to be inflationary. So it wasn't a surprise, right? When it comes to his possibility of tariffs talks, it was already being expected, right? And plus now we're seeing economic data becoming inflationary. So this is just to help you guys know what to expect coming up for this week. So now you have a bias and you understand what to pay attention to. Okay. So this week, focus on Trump. Is going to be in the beginning of the week, Monday through Wednesday. More likely, it's going to be random, but more likely that's going to be the focus. So try to be patient this week. Wait until his comments come out when it comes to tariffs. Don't really try to focus on technicals that much because you're going to be in a technical situation and then those comments may go against you, right? So you want to take trades when there's a clear bias, right? And the comments is really taking over the markets, especially in these time of events. So wait for his comments to come out before you take a trade. And then when you look at your next opportunity, you know, Wednesday is where we get the start of economic data for the US. Then Thursday, we got UK GDP. This is a really good indicator of the trading the pound, right? This is growth. So if we get the pound is going to follow the data. If we get a stronger GDP print, we're more likely going to get a stronger pound. If we get a weaker GDP print, we're more likely going to get a weaker pound. So that's something that we're going to have to focus on too. Okay. Then after that, we're also going to have Thursday US PPI data. That's also inflationary for you guys that don't know. It's another inflationary indicator. So that's going to be at 8:34 New York session. We got two inflationary prints this week. So this week, Trump and the US CPI. All right. So that's pretty much how I'm ending. I'm have you guys go watch our football. If you guys have any questions, both of you guys, sheesh. Yeah, I see these two. Can't get them out. Yeah, next time I have us people filter the chats. Any questions so far? Give it like another 2 minutes for questions, and then end it. Focus on what Sakim is saying. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Just ignore the noise. All right, guys. Have a good one.